All right, welcome back. How about some updates on the Diocese of Houma-Thibodeau? And we have the superintendent of the diocese, Ms. Suzanne Troxclair. Welcome aboard. Good to have you here. And we have Lonnie Thibodeau. You may remember Lonnie from, he had this seat while I was in the field for many hurricanes. So good to see you, Lonnie.
Thank you,
doing
Mark.
okay?
Thank you. We're doing fine.
All right, Lonnie, let's start with you. Lonnie's the Director of Communications with the Diocese of Houma-Thibodeau. And obviously, specifics are still a hard thing with these schools and everything, but just in generalities, where are we now with the Catholic school system in the diocese?
Well, and I guess I can answer more generally both church parishes and schools. And I guess the way to answer that, Martin, is by saying, in the Catholic Church, but especially in the Diocese of Houma-Thibodeau, our two biggest ministries, without question, are obviously the people that are sitting in the pew. People who are going to Mass. We have over 90,000 Catholics in our diocese, and those people that are sitting in the pews at Sunday Mass or maybe daily Mass, that is the obvious biggest ministry we have. But number two, and there is no question about this, is what Suzanne is ultimately responsible for, and that is Catholic schools. We've got almost 5,000 students and their parents, and 600 or so employees in those 11 schools. It's very, very critical, and I know there's a lot of people watching. Believe me, I'm getting the phone calls. Certainly Suzanne's getting even more than me about the status and what's going on. So with that being said, generally, and again, in a couple minutes I'll get back to some more general things about relief and things such as that in our church parishes. But yeah, Suzanne talking about the schools, I know there's a lot of people interested in that.
And let me turn to Ms. Troxclair, the logistics. Logistics is a word everybody's using.
Absolutely.
Now, how difficult is that to just pull it all together?
I think as Bishop Fobb has said, there's no playbook for this. We're in disaster mode right now. We need to remember our 3 R's right now. We're responding to the needs of our communities, the needs of our people. We're working to reopen our schools, our churches, as Lonnie said, and then to recover from the devastation of this catastrophic storm. So there is no playbook for it, but we are doing everything we can. We're leaving no stone unturned in terms of how we're going to return on, in aspects of our schools, our students to school and to their activities as soon as possible and as soon as is feasible within our community.
Lonnie, let's talk a little bit about and maybe both of y'all can answer this in different ways. The psyche of the students. Been through COVID, still going through COVID. We were just into another wave of COVID. Now we have this. We got to think about the well-being of the students too, and I know y'all putting a lot of thought into that.
Right, and absolutely, Morton. And I think the psyche, that's an interesting word. I think a lot of people are concerned. Those of us who evacuated just got back here within the last couple of days. I got to be honest. 15 minutes ago was the first time I drove in downtown Houma. I mean, I just saw it myself. For someone who's been here all 60 years of my life, to see it with my own eyes, literally 15 minutes ago,
and it's looking
sobering.
Good. It's looking good.
Exactly, exactly. But regarding schools, our employees, again, 2 big groups we're talking about. We're actually 3. Those 5,000 students, their families, and of course our 600 or so employees. Yeah, those are some key groups. And Suzanne, you would probably be in a much better position than me, is the mindset and how do you manage and handle the anxieties and everything that people are feeling.
Absolutely. And the safety, not just physical, but the mental, just the status of our students and their families is of utmost importance in the diocese. And that's why we're trying to do all we can to be able to return our students to not only school but their activities as well as quickly as we can in a safe and secure environment. And it's a challenge we're all facing, the public and the private schools and the Catholic schools throughout this area. And our neighboring, our public partner school systems, as you know, they were on here as well. They're facing the same challenges that we're facing. And so that is very important, and that's where the diocese comes into play a lot more through our churches, through the pastoral leadership within our diocese. And Lonnie can speak a little more to that aspect of it, but that is critical, not just for our students, but for their families and all of the our congregation, all of the people of our diocese.
And Lonnie, when you talk, I want you to talk more about it. But going through the bishop too, and it was good to see him when he came here and he did the Mass from the studio the other day. But he's such a gentle soul, and I can imagine. But he's probably a calming effect in times like these too, isn't he?
Oh, he absolutely is. Suzanne and I know, and she's worked technically for the diocese longer than I, and knows that's how Bishop Fobb is. He has a heart that's as big as the world, and that calming, you said it, that calming influence that he has. And that's why it's been really important, especially in the last week or so, that we're getting him out there. And believe me, he likes doing it. He wants to be amongst his people, and he's going out there, Martin, whether it's church parishes or whatever, and whether he's handing out meals or just shaking people's hand. In fact, I'm noticing on the screen the picture from Vanderbilt. I think you were there, Suzanne, when this picture was taken Monday morning at Vanderbilt. Had his jeans on. He had a collar on. You can't see it in the picture, but look, he's out there.
Designer jeans on.
Yeah, and I mean, he's out there praying with those volunteers, those students who are helping with the cleanup. So he's out there as much as he can. And you made another good point. I want to make sure before our segment ends that we talk about this regarding Mass. You're right, the Sunday Mass last week, he filmed it.
You don't have to rush because I'm extending you on another segment after this. So.
Wow.
Okay, all right.
What do I owe you for that? But
I knew we couldn't get you in one segment.
That's right. But anyway, but I just want to mention real quickly regarding Masses. I know there are a lot of people, a lot of good, faithful Catholics out there that are a little bit curious about that. Two things. One is the Bishop Sunday Mass that was pre-filmed here, which we hope to be doing as well, maybe even later today. So hopefully we will have that for you, the Sunday Mass with Bishop that you're used to. Number two is all the other church parishes. My suggestion, we will try our best on the diocesan website within the next couple of days to maybe kind of give you a list of who is actually holding or celebrating Mass and what time. But really, if you're curious and you live in a specific parish, I would suggest right now you check their Facebook page, their other social media, their website to see if they've given information specifically about their weekend Mass schedule.
All right, hold that thought. We're going to take a short mandatory break at the 7-minute mark. We're going to come right back, another segment with the Diocese of Houma-Thibodeau.